Good afternoon. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez met with Senegal's president yesterday to conclude his trip through 3 West African nations aimed at tackling irregular migration to the Canary Islands. The two leaders signed agreements to promote temporary work opportunities in Spain for Senegalese nationals and vocational training in the West African country. Regulated migration benefits us all, Sanchez said. It vaccinates us against those who make a business out of irregularity, referring to people smuggling networks. Last month, a boat carrying some 300 migrants, mostly from Gambia and Senegal, capsized off Mauritania. More than a dozen died and at least 150 others went missing. Sanchez also announced the launch of the Alliance Africa Advances, a development initiative that includes vocational training to around 500 young people in Senegal, and a project with the Spanish company Hispasat to expand internet access throughout the West African country. Meanwhile, the main opposition, the Partido Popular, have demanded an immediate apology from left-wing parties, but especially from the government for calling them xenophobic and racist, for suggesting that Spain should follow the example of other EU partners in deporting irregular immigrants. Yesterday, official sources in the PP demanded a formal and public apology from the coalition government of Pedro Sanchez. The PP was accused of being racist and xenophobic shortly after its parliamentary spokesman on Wednesday attacked Sanchez's migration policy that he called irresponsible. Investigators from Spain, Italy and the FBI have been combing through a heavily wooded area in northern Italy, searching for a Fort Lauderdale woman who prosecutors say was kidnapped from her apartment in Madrid by her estranged husband amid their bitter divorce over millions of dollars. Anna Knežević was reported missing in early February in Spain, and her body has not been found. The FBI believes her husband David carried her body in a suitcase out of her Madrid apartment building on February 2nd. Investigators now suspect that Knežević, a 36-year-old Serbian native, may have transported her body in his rented car on his return trip from Madrid to Belgrade between February the 2nd and 5th. A GPS signal generated on February the 4th by his rental car led Italian and Spanish investigators to a wooded area in northern Italy, where they say he may have taken a detour off the main highway to dump his wife's corpse. An FBI spokesman declined to comment on the search. And Ben O'Connor's team have controlled stage 12 of the Vuelta a España, enabling the Australian rider to complete a week in the leader's red jersey. The Perth cyclist has been in red since his epic solo breakaway win on stage 6, and his team ensured that there will be no repeat of Wednesday's loss of 37 seconds to his nearest pursuer, Primož Roglič. Today's 176-kilometre stage is another challenging one, finishing on the Ancares mountain pass. That's the latest from TRE. I'm Bob James.